Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, everyone. I'm early, so I'm going to pause. Team replay, thank you for joining. I am super duper happy that you're here. So, right now, we're going to give everybody a chance that is here live to get the notification and pop on in. I'm like 15 minutes early, but I got a lot to cover and I needed more time on the front end than the back end. So I'm glad you're here with me today, whether you are watching live or whether you're watching replay. Got some things. We're going to talk about grief. And remember, grief is anything that hurts your heart. Whether you've lost a loved one, whether you've lost a job, whether you lost a dog, a cat, whatever you've lost. Grief is anything that makes your heart hurt. So today we're going to talk about watercolor and healing. And you know me, it's all centered around slapping paint on what? Paper. Because that's my jam. And that's what I personally have done on my grief journey after the death of my son. So we're going to, okay, give it a minute, because I am early. I am very, very early, and it's okay. So, team replay. Again, thank you for being here. Without team replay, I wouldn't have watch hours. And so I'm grateful for everyone that does show up. Appreciate it. Thank you so, so much. And I would like for you to leave in a comment any questions that you have on any of the replays that you do come back and watch, anything that you might possibly like to see in the art world, being that I do as my art is my way of getting through life after death. Okay. So, and team replay, if you're here and you have not subscribed to the channel and anything on another live that you have heard and you just like, oh my goodness, and you keep showing up but you haven't subscribed, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and that bell notification so that when I do go live, you'll be notified. That's the best way to really, really catch me over here on YouTube. I'm pretty much on YouTube. I try to do TikTok, and I haven't done a live on Instagram in forever. I tried to stream this over there, but y'all know my bandwidth, it won't do it. Maybe in the future, maybe in the future. Okay, so this is what is on my desk, this beautiful piece that I did, and I put it in a frame, not a frame, what are these things called? Anyway, this thing, put it in there because I thought it was so pretty. These are my Holbein watercolors, and they did so amazing to watch them even after I put this in the sun, and this hasn't changed at all. It actually, like, the way the granulating watercolor has really shown up, and when it dried, it's pretty, and you get to see the different colors. And I tried to put it in a little bowl. I'm working on putting things in a bowl or in a vase. Let's just say in a vase. And I started with something simple, started little, and then for whatever reason, I figured I'll go big. I think I do better little. I like these better, but no worries. Okay. And y'all know I have been, if you've been on here, you know I've been doing these mini. I will say I fell off. And it's not that I fell off, it's just life happened. Did life happen? Yes, life happened. My husband had surgery and some things. So I kind of forgot about this. And it's taken all I can to do all the things that I show up and do. So we're gonna just keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. Okay, let's go, let's go, let's go. I'm going to do some poppies later. I don't know if I'll do it on this live, but we shall see. We shall see. We shall see. We shall see. Okay. I went to the thrift store. So while hubby was in therapy, I had some errands to run. I had to go pick up my meds and do some things for me. And while he was there in therapy, I was like, oh man, that's cool. I can just run across the street and I can get it done. And that kind of worked out. So I got my stuff done. And after I finished, while I took my medicine, well, while I was waiting on my prescription, I went to the thrift store. And at the thrift store, I got this. Y'all know I've been trying to find any kind of book that has flowers in it. And this was at the thrift store. And I got something else that's, I'm going to pop in and open up. But this has, it's the World Horticultural Society, which is 2,048 illustrations in color. That just called my name. It just jumped off the shelf and said, hey, can I go home with you? And then when I started flipping in it, I was like, oh yeah, anything that I can have as inspiration works for me. And this is great. It even has some things that's in my yard that I didn't know what it was, what they are. So I'm gonna learn and be inspired from it. So this is great. I have these in the yard, and these are daffodils. I think that's what they're called. I think. Um, they're all different kinds. So I thought so. So maybe it's not. But okay, isn't that pretty? It's just beautiful. Tulips, of course. Have some tulips in the yard if I can keep the dogs away from the tulips. But yeah, so and then back here you get to learn all about it if you're interested. But me personally, I was more interested in the photos. My printer just kind of scared me. I was just like, what was that? Okay. Okay, so, oh, that was a plum tree. That's a plum tree. Or is it? I think so. It's got fruits on them. And the pages are so vibrant. Very, very, very vibrant. Okay. Yep. Okay, so we are. What are the? Oh yeah. See, I'll get caught up in it. I don't want to get caught up in it. I just want to show. This will be something else. The house and greenhouse plants. Yep. The color dictionary garden plants, and it's a pretty thick book. And it was only 99 cents at the thrift store. So that's why I say go to the thrift store and pick up some things, especially if you're going to be like me. I will take a book and turn it into something else in a heartbeat. And so this one was pretty good. It's pretty good. Okay, that's that. So I got that from the thrift store. And I really wish the people would have. All right, we're going to put these because these were my mini. We'll bring them back out later, possibly. Put them up there. Put you over here. Now Daniel Smith is right there because we're going to talk about Daniel Smith and Holbein granulating watercolors and Mission watercolors. And I'm going to throw that in there as I do and talk about healing in watercolor. Because as you know, I am a mother of 7, and 2 of my 7 children are already my heavenly angels. And so getting through life has been not so much as I'm not going to say it's been easy, but it's not been a bed of roses either. But I've learned how to navigate. And that is all because of paint, slapping paint on paper. If you were on Monday's live, I wanted to come back and dive into this. My hands feel like I've been needing some biscuits. Hold on, let me put some. I was out mowing before I came on. Mowed about 2 acres. It's what I do to relax. And this morning when I went to walk, I realized that my boots was going in the grass because we've had a lot of rain. So I was just like, oh no, we're going to have to mow this on down again. Now is the time I'll be mowing twice a week in some spots. Okay, there we go. Got that all done. Okay, so welcome for everybody that's popped on. If you're here, I'm happy and grateful that you're here. And so today I'm going to be talking about watercolor and healing. And whether you're grieving a child, a parent, a partner, or, a dog, anything that has made your heart, I always say grief is anything that has made your heart hurt, anything that's made you cry, right? Something that's less visible, like a version of yourself you lost, maybe you want to say. So your presence here matters. You're not alone. I'm also in there. But when I looked at this last week, after I really just kind of did this to show how easy it was to really slap paint on paper, and now that this has dried, it made me think of grief and watercolor. It made me think of like how the blooms really pop out, and sometimes grief just pops out, right? So that is one of those things that I was like, oh my goodness. And then even in here, how cloudy it is. See how it's all muddy. Some days that's grief. And then some days you can see how clear it is and how pretty it is. That's life when you're grieving. Some days are great. Um, so today we're going to talk about living with grief, not just surviving, but slowly, gently learning how to carry it. And maybe how to grow forward through it, right? And mine just happened to be, I learned how to do that by slapping paint on paper, which is why I can only speak from my perspective. And again, as I've always said, I'm not for everybody. However, who I am for, they'll hear me. You'll hear me. And this is, again, remember, I'm not just necessarily talking about the loss of a child. Grief, again, is anything that has made your heart hurt. That is really more so like this. Um, to me, this is the flower in the middle, and this is the whirlwind around it. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to probably find me a sentiment to put on it, and I'm going to put it in a frame because when I looked at this and it said, grief is just like watercolor. Sometimes you get what you want and sometimes you don't. So grief is not something, like I said, that you're going to get over, but you learn how to navigate it, which is what I learned how to do with watercolor. So, and there's no right way to use it at all. So we're going to take that off of here. I'm going to have to remind myself to put a sentiment on it. I don't even know. I'm going to let it be in my eyesight so that I can decide what sentiment I want to put on it. If I want to put a stamp on it, do I want to put like words, like I have alphabet words that I could put. Do I want to go in a book, pull words out of a book and kind of put it on? There's so many ways that I can put a sentiment or something on here. But I do know I want the sentiment to say something like everything is beautiful in its time, which is in Ecclesiastes, where in Ecclesiastes it talks about basically there's a time for everything, and it just happens to talk about a time to die. And although some people don't want to talk about death, death is a part of life, and no matter what we do, how we do it, we can't get around it. We just can't. People around here trying to figure out how to get through getting old, how to not look old, and I don't care what we do. It's at the end of the day, we're going to all have to check out and say, now unto him, God, that is. Okay. All right. Now, so that's that. So that's where we are from this. If you didn't see Monday, I will have Mondays so you can check out Mondays. Go check out Monday. I'll link it to the description box below. But this was it was nice. Hi Dawn, how are you? I saw you sent me a message and I have yet to read it. I'm quite sure it's about your package, but I haven't opened it up. I saw it came through on my watch. Today was rehab day, and I went to the thrift store today, Dawn, and found this beautiful book. Look, let me back up a little. And it has over 2,000 pictures. I still haven't gotten the book that I sent for the rose, how you told me to go and, ask for a magazine. They still haven't sent it. So this was cool. The only thing I hate about this, if I decide I want to cut this, then it's on each side. So I said, I guess I won't cut it. I'll just use it for inspiration only. But these pages are yummy. And then if you don't know, whatever the flower is, it has information in the back. So I thought that was cool. So yeah, you guys, I popped on early. I came on like 15 minutes early because I needed to make sure that my internet was coming on, and I just want to pop on and just kind of get ready. I'd rather be here early than to be here late. Today was a great day. Like I said, I went to the thrift store. Oh, hey, Sarah. How are you? Are you happy that your mommy's back home? Did you tell her that she left her snacks? Okay, I got this from the thrift store. Now, my only thing is I hate that they did this. They could have put a sticky note on it. They could have did something that says this side up. So I am going to see if it will come off, and it will. Great. They must have did it with Sharpie. Well, it's still kind of there. You still can see it, but it's not going to matter. I thought about it and I was like, you know what? It doesn't matter. I'm going to probably slap some paint on this box anyway. But I've been looking for boxes and tins. Remember, I had this box and I had this tin. Those are the things that I'm looking for. I got my tin, so I'm okay with the tin until I get some more watercolors that need a place. But this is where I put my Holbein, because y'all know I didn't like that other thing. But this is where I put my Holbein. And it has a place for a whole bunch more. So these are the granulating ones, and I might order some regular Holbeins and put them in here and just let this be a Holbein. This is not Holbein. This is, oh my goodness, I can't remember. Oh God, I can't remember. And I was supposed to leave my note up here what it is. I know it when I see it, but I'll have to look it up. But it was a sample that I got when I ordered from Jackson. They sent these. So when I ordered, what did I order from them? I ordered something, but they sent paint. Oh, I ordered the paper when I got the paper and some brushes and some stuff, and they sent this. So I like it. This is pretty. It's granulating too. That's the actual color. So that's that. And then remember, I put, it popped out. I put my Mission in here, my Magello in here, and they are yummy. This paper didn't do good, so that's not a good representation of what it is, but it was there. Okay. So, like I was saying earlier, I am talking about today. This painting started talking to me after Monday, because y'all know Monday was a crappy day. I got better after you got off the live with you guys, and when I mowed the yard Monday. Just really relaxed a little bit. But this painting started talking to me Monday afternoon, Monday after the live. And so that is, hence the title for this one is Watercolor and Healing. Because it's kind of like, as it was talking about, it was like, it's just like watercolor. Grief is linear. It's messy. It fades in and out. So does watercolor. Like, sometimes it does what it wants. Sometimes it shows up and shows out. So does grief. And I was like, look at God, just go on and do your thing. But I cannot take away from my grief journey and say that it's been, a bed of roses, because it has not. And some days it's just terrible. But when I slap paint on paper, it works out. Mr. McCoy's woke. Make sure you take your medicine, because I just realized I can't remember if I gave it to you. I know we were talking about it, but can't remember if I gave it to you. The pain pill, that is. All right. Isn't this pretty? Now, I don't care about this. I don't care about what's in here. I don't even know what it is. But whoever got this, they didn't use it at all. And it has some, what are these things? Pastels. Let's see, is that what it is? Yeah. Art. Something classic. I'll have to look that up. I might have, might have a gold mine here and just don't even, know it. They didn't use these that much. Doesn't have that much of a name on them other than having the name on these. So, but this is what I wanted to see. And y'all are going to see me do it. Because remember I said I wanted the box. I didn't really care about what was... Oh yeah, we're going to have to take this out. So I wanted the box because I want to be able to put my watercolors in them. Well, oh golly gee Whitakers. Just so destructive, aren't I? But this definitely feels good to undo this. Yes. Ah, great. Okay, we'll do something with these. I'll probably save it for the grandkids. I don't know. I might use them and look, we might see what they do. We might see with them oil pastels because I have some new oil pastels. Are these oil? I can't even remember if they're oil. But these look like they might be oil pastels. But look at this box. Oh my goodness, it's the simple things that make me happy. Let's see. Let's see. We'll take that out. Well, we won't try to get it all out. Because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna see how deep it is. Oh, I don't want to break this. Now, what I'm doing, it has something to do with grief as well. Anytime I can, I'm going to say tear something up, which is why I like mowing the grass, cutting it off, cutting it down. I have bottles that I'm, put in a bag and break them, literally break them. And that is really how I get to really let out my frustration. I don't want to break that. Let's see if this, oh yeah, that might work. Perfecto, perfecto, perfecto. Okay. All right. So as I said, grief is not something that we get over. Grief is not something that I got over. Grief is something that I have to do some things simply like y'all just saw me right here. If I was having a bad day, like a grief day, that would have felt real good. It still felt good, even though I wasn't like in a bad place, but it still felt good to just rip this out. Just really demolish stuff. Just be a little terror. That's all. So in my coaching, I try to lead people, mothers, I remind them that you don't have to get over the loss, which is what I have to tell myself is I don't have to get over the loss. I grow with it. It's a part of my life now. It's my new normal. And, it's just like anything else. We have to figure out how are we going to navigate with this situation now. This box is just beautiful. Oh, look at that. Oh, I'm trying to tell you, it's the simple things. Look, so I can even do something. It's really deep. Oh, I can't take that out. I need to see. Oh, I know where some are. Pencils, I might use you later. I'm not going to use you now. The pencils are like, are you done? You're going to trash me? Maybe. I'm not sure. I have a lot of loose, like my beams. Oh, that would be cute. That would work. But this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to find a box. Now, the half pan, not so much. But my beam paints, they fit in here perfectly. That will be amazingly great. And I have enough of them that I can definitely slap them in there. These are all beam paints. Now, I would have to get something to put on the bottom because I wouldn't want to close it and then they fall. So I got excited real quick. We're going to pause. Because again, I still would have to put something. So I'll probably put something on the bottom so that whatever I put in here, it'll have some support to stay. Like even if I put that, it'll maybe some double-sided tape, some real heavy-duty tape, and maybe something on this side so that maybe, I don't know. We'll see. But I love the box. So that was a great find, and it was only $2.99. Did I leave something in there? I did. I left, hey, see how I just, and it's cute. That is so cute. Hook and loop tape. Hook and loop tape. Okay, I have to remember that. Hook and loop tape. I don't have any hook and loop tape, but sounds like it's a good secure. So since we got these, let's pull back out our book. Okay, so this is again like, oh, it's like Velcro. Okay. Oh, well, you know, I got some Velcro because when we have the puppies, we have Velcro. Make their collars is made out of Velcro. So I might can do that. Yeah, there is some that's yes, thank you, Dawn. Look at you. Look at you. That's why you got Happy Mail. I love to send Happy Mail. Love, 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 love. This is another way I've been practicing too with them brushes. That's working out. The Holbeins are great. Okay, so this inspired me. Team Replay. If you wasn't on the live on Monday, check that live out. I just really did this real simple, whatever. But later on, this thing started talking to me. So, and the one thing I realized, watercolor and grief, they both were unfamiliar at first. But with time, I began to understand how to use watercolor. I began to learn how to navigate around my grief. I began to understand more of myself and when I was really grieving and when I really was just maybe in a pissy mood or something like that. That is what I'm saying when you learn to carry your grief. Now, if you haven't lost a child, I'm not talking about that in that sense, but if you've lost a parent, partner, like anything, again, that's made your heart hurt. That's what I'm talking about. And we all have had our heart hurt. So we all have grieved something. I've in the last lately in the last year, this year, we can say this year, coming in from last year to this year, I was grieving a relationship, friendship. So it just really rocked me to the core. And so I needed to distinguish between the friendship and the grief of my son. We're gonna slap these down. And then I'm gonna pull back out watercolors because remember today was supposed to be watercolor and healing, but we're gonna use this page. This okay. Well, maybe somebody like don't like watercolor. Mine just happened to be slapping paint on paper with watercolor. Maybe this might inspire somebody to get some. Oh, that's not. Oh, it's not. The only thing I ever didn't like about these is like when you get to putting them down, that hard mark. Now I'm just really gently sliding this down. That hard mark is still going to stay there. And that's what I don't like. But these that I got, they don't do that. They're not, I don't know how to say what they are or are not. And these aren't either. Come think of it. Yeah, see that once you do it, that or maybe these are not to be done like that. I thought these was. Let me try it over here. Nope, they're not being ignited by the water. So they are not what I thought they were. Okay, which could be cool. That's cool. No problem. That means they'll show up great in my mixed media. Now, I'm assuming these are watercolors. Let's see, is it? Okay, that's watercolor. Very vibrant colors. Interesting colors. Okay. It's not a total loss. But God, those are some pretty colors. Okay, cool. All right. We'll swatch them later. What was this for? Okay, so this is what I thought they were. Let's go for the people that's like, well, what'd you think they were? This is what I thought they were. Oh, and that's all we're gonna need with that, because these carry a lot of weight. These are hefty. You don't need a lot. That's what I thought those were gonna do. No, those are not these. Ain't all that water I just slapped on there. They ain't going nowhere. You said do the pastels. Let's see. Oh, that's even more crayony. I don't think it's nope, it's not. I'm gonna look this up. Art STV DID Classic. I'll look that up and see what they are and see how old they are. Um, OLED. So that's what I thought they were, was this. You get to see how that just really goes a long way. You saw I only put a little bit right there, and next thing you know, you just keep adding, and it just keeps waking it up. So I got these for my mixed media. Um, and it's beating up over the one I just put there. Those on the box look like ink tints blocks. The oil won't move with water. The oil won't move with water. That's why it did that. Yeah. So you can't do anything with it. They will, yep, that's exactly what it did. You got it. There you go. So that's good to know, though. That's good to know. That's good to know. So when I go putting these in my mixed media, that means that they are, oh, they're not water resistant. So that means that they'll actually be great in my mixed media. I don't have a piece right here because I could have slapped that on. So that's cool. But we're gonna work. We're gonna enjoy them. These will go somewhere else, possibly. Don't know. I don't know. I like them. They're cool. And so since those were oils and then watercolor, you think the pencils are watercolor pencils? Let's see. And another thing, if you happen to not like, want to use watercolor, like I use watercolor, you can also use watercolor pencils. That water is dirty. I don't have no clean water on my desk. Yes, there it is. Nope. Well, maybe it acts like it's trying to. No, not really. Look like, I don't know if it's the dirty water. It could be the dirty water. But you can also get the brown look like ink tints. You mean these that I just had? These are handmade soft pastels too. I love them. They are unison color, made by, I want to say Unison is who it is, but I got them from Jackson. I love, love, love them. Man, they are, I haven't swatched them all. So I have green mini set, orange, and then of course the browns. And that's what they look like. So these are pretty. So yeah, if you're looking to do something and you're like on your grief journey and you're trying to find something different to do and you're trying to navigate through it and ask yourself, what do you want to do? This is another route. Like it's not, and these are not messy like some of the other ones. Soft pastels, yeah, they're more, well, these aren't really chalk. Like, well, maybe they come off really, but they're not like some of the ones that I've had. I didn't like them. As a matter of fact, I gave them to my granddaughter. But when Scrubs and oh God, I forgot can't remember the name. But but she had them. She did a thing, and so I got these. I love, 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 love these. And I've actually swatched them on something else, but I can't remember. Did I do it in here? No, didn't do it in here. Isn't this pretty? Oh, as a matter of fact, yes, these are they. This one color that I went around right here, and I put too much on it, so I kind of stopped, digging into it. But that's what this is all around. The color on the inside is, what color did I use? These, Daniel Rowney. That's that color. And yeah, that was this palette. Because y'all know, I have all of the things, and my whole thing is to start using all of the things. Now, all right, let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. I feel like I just really want to do something with this page because I've kind of messed over it. So let's just do something with this page with watercolor. What color is this? Oh, my water is dirty. I don't like really starting out with dirty, dirty water. Brown water. Duh. That's ugly. I don't mind the purples or the yellows, but I don't like dirty water. Okay. And this, I feel like I did something else. So I didn't come in the studio yesterday. And I know that's what it is. That's why there's dirty water. I didn't clean up. Okay, we're going to. Hi, Azuka. How are you? Hey, I made my juice and it was amazing. I meant to do a mini live, not live. What do you call the thing? Just a little story, but I didn't. But it was good. Yeah, I think my brush is just dirty. Yeah, there we go. We got some clean water. Okay. So another thing, that, as I was talking about, um, we're going to use deep, deep light. These are handmade watercolors from Italy. Can't remember. They're from overseas. I do know that. Do know that. But these are yummy. I feel like I want to start with a color and go. Okay, so watercolor and healing go together for me because I've learned how to slap paint on paper and how to really hone in on my feelings, my emotions. Because I'll get sidetracked and start talking about something else, and it ain't what we're supposed to be doing. I be trying to stay focused, y'all. Help me stay focused, just a tad. But grief doesn't, sometimes grief just shows up and knocks the hell out of you, right? And what I've learned is there's no right way to do it, which is what I learned with watercolors. There's no right way, right or wrong way to do it. Slap and paint on paper just became my thing. Like I wanted to do it and I wanted to do it my way. I've learned how to do a lot more stuff. I've learned some rules and either I abide by the rules or I don't. When it comes to grieving, there's no rules in grieving, right? So, grieving, I mean, watercolor is the medium of choice that I use, right? Just lets me really hone in on concentrating on how I feel. Like right now, I'm really trying to talk to you and paint and do all the things. And sometimes when I'm not on here, I'm praying, I'm talking to God. I'm asking God why today has to be so crappy. You go through those things. And again, that's just any day. So sometimes when people talk about grief and or they don't talk about grief, let's talk about that. It's one of those things where you have to remember um, you don't have to talk about it, but it's sure gonna make you feel it. It's gonna make you know that it's there. It's just like anything else kind of that you have in your life, you know. So y'all, Sarah got some. What's that? Who? Never know how to say the name of it, but watercolor pencils, and we're gonna have to have her come on here probably next week so y'all can see what she's done because she has took them pencils and just what she sent me was amazingly beautiful. And again, if you don't like watercolor palettes and you want to do something different, because I do tell a lot of my clients, it's like, if you don't want to do this, I mean, when I say this, I mean like watercolor, like what I'm doing right here, you don't have to. Like, you can get you some markers, you can get you some colored pencils. You don't even have to get watercolor color pencils. You can just get regular color pencils. And what the reason that I want you to do something is so that you can sit quiet by yourself and just give yourself time to decide what your next move is. And that's what, for me, COVID happened after my son was murdered. COVID happened, and so life really didn't give me a choice. I just, the world closed up. I was okay with it. Uh-huh, that, yeah. Uh-huh. What she put in there. That's what them the color pencils she got. um and they're so vibrant. But I've learned that watercolors can be messy, mixed media can be messy. Um Sometimes I get some paints that stain, but it's still art, and I still love it. I still like it, and it still makes me feel, at the end of it all, it still makes me feel, like I'm okay. And that's really what I really be wanting people to really kind of, you know, take the time to sit in your emotions, sit in how you're feeling, have the conversation with yourself to say, you know what, today isn't the day that I need to show up for the world. I need to just show up for me. And y'all, I'm telling y'all something that I really had to just play back my own words to myself, because since my husband has had surgery, I've been having to, do the dogs, do a lot of things, and I wasn't really sitting in taking care of me, really, per se, like I tell y'all to do, right? So that is why slapping paint on paper is my thing. Yesterday, that's what I did after I got back from taking my aunt to the airport, which was a whole ordeal in Atlanta yesterday. And I had to meet with a gentleman about an accident that I was witness to, and that brought some trauma back because the witness in the accident was very, very, very tragic. Um, and so it left me in a place where I didn't even realize that my body was responding to that trauma. I've had to tell the story about that accident 4 times in this month. And the gentleman, he had said, like, he said it, he's like, God, make sure you take care of yourself, because I know, telling this story has probably brought up something for you. And I didn't even think about it. I'm so busy concentrating on taking care of everybody else, reminding everybody else to take care of themselves, that I was like, yo, fool, make sure you take care of you. Which was why I went and mowed the yard today when I came home. I went to the thrift store, went to Michael's, and that, those are things that make me happy. But, in the process of, driving and all the things, you got to do that. And there was no time to really sit and relax in it, because I'll be trying to get him back home so he can be in a place to where he can relax and, don't have to be in the car too long. So my doctor is like, she's like, well, I want to put you on some blood pressure medicine. I was like, ma'am, you're going to give my lifetime to slow down first. First off, you're just going to give me some time. You're just going to give me some time because I got a lot going on. And then she's like, well, I'm going to write the prescription and I want you to take it. I say, is this blood pressure medicine, is it good for black ladies? And she fell out laughing. I was like, no, 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 I'm serious, because I've heard some of these blood pressure medicines has been taking out black people. And I don't want them. I don't want that one. She's like, I promise you, this is not even a strong whatever. I was like, that's what they all say. So we laughed about it, because y'all know I have to make light of some things just because, so I don't get all bent out of shape about it. Now, have I taken them pills? No, not yet. Because I got me a blood pressure thing, and my aunt told me, just give yourself time, sit down, and then take your blood pressure, whatever. So that's what I did. And my blood pressure has been normal for what it's been for my life. Let's put it that way. It wasn't what it was when I was at the doctor's office. Now, am I going to continue to not? I'm not saying that. I am saying that I'm going to give my body time to really absorb all of the things that it's going through. That's what I am saying. And this is what I had to do with grief. I had to do the same thing because my sugar, my A1C went from a 5 to a 10. My body really is like a sponge, it absorbs stress. And so now that I know this, and I'm life over 50 and all the other things you got to factor in. And so I'm sharing this with you because I want to remind you, as I'm taking care of myself, I want you to take care of yourself. And like I said, one of my favorite metaphors is watercolor. It runs, it blends, it's unpredictable. And so is my freaking life. And when you step back, you get to see the beauty of it, right? So, and then I also told y'all watercolor is forgiving. So grief, not so much. Watercolor, like let's just take this right here. I've slapped this down. Let's say if I wasn't happy with a couple things or something, I can re-wet it or go back over it with the brush, wake it back up, move it around a little bit. Life, not so much. All you can do is kind of react to what has already happened, right? That's all we can do. We can't change things. Like if we could, I would go back to October the 3rd and death, my son wouldn't have died October the 4th. But I personally feel like life is, we're born, we're going to die. We just don't know when. And mine just happened to have been so, grief just happened to have been a lot in my life. I've lost some people that meant the world to me. And I feel like, after they died, especially after my aunt died, I felt like, oh my God, how am I going to navigate through the hard parts of life? Like I'm a mother, I'm a wife, and like you're not here to tell me how you do it or how you did it. So it kind of, it's one of those things. But watercolor makes me feel better. Got it? So that's what I mean when I say watercolor and healing. Slapping paint on paper is my jam. Like Sarah is a chef. She does cooking. Cooking is one of the things that maybe makes her, put her in a good space. Maybe I don't know what your thing could be. Like Dawn likes to she does craft. She likes to make things, mixed media, does great things. So, we all get if you're in a craft world. But let's say if you're scrolling through here and you're on team replay or you're on this live and you're trying to figure out, I don't do none of that. What I want to invite you to do is find a ritual and a routine that will work for you, right? I tell my coaching clients to start with something small. When you have a ritual is like maybe you want to light a candle in the morning, or maybe you want to write a letter to someone, or it depends on what you're grieving from. Write a letter about how you're feeling, something like that. Take a 10-minute walk. I take a walk every day. I walk with the dogs. Long as it's not raining. Well, I can't say that. I walked in the rain the other day. The weather is getting real warm, except for last night. It went down to 35. Jeez, I slept like a baby. But also I was tired. Whisper a prayer at night. So these are rituals, and make them a routine. Like when you figure out that thing, like I figured out slapping paint on paper is my thing. It's my jam. It's what I like to talk to people, as we talk about how to navigate through life. And it's not something that, I take lightly. So, yeah. But also, when everything feels out of control, rituals become your roots. Slapping paint on paper. Y'all already know. I told y'all Monday. Monday was a crap day. Like it was just, I couldn't get back. But my joy was in the fact that I was going to show up for my crew on the live. And that gave me the strength to just make it to 4 o'clock. And then afterwards I felt better. Felt so much better. So that has become my ritual and my routine is Monday and Wednesdays. I'm here at 3. Normally at 3 this week. So this is the last 4 o'clock. Next week we'll back to next Monday. Well, Monday and Wednesday we will be back to 3 o'clock. And if you're subscribed to the channel and you hit the bell notification all, you'll get your notifications. And that way you'll know when I do pop on, because sometimes I might just pop on because I'm in the studio and I just want to inspire somebody to do something great. That's just it. That's it for me over here. Okay, I do want to invite you. If you're on Team Replay or if you're here live, I do have to invite you to do more with me. And you get to do more with me either by having a watercolor session with me or joining my Patreon, where we get to do all the things. Like you just get a little more than you do on Mondays and Wednesdays. It's a little bit more personal. You get to ask a little bit more personal questions. Maybe you want to, I'm not a grief coach. I do art therapy, and that's to pretty much help people navigate through. Now, if you say, hey, I want to chat with you, girl, but I don't want to do art, that's fine too. You just have to be crystal clear in what you want. You can go over to KarenMcCoy.com and see all of the things, like all of the things. Um, and you decide what you want, right? Because I do want you to get a routine about what it is you need to do. Because when you have a routine, it reminds your nervous system, I'm safe, I'm grounded, I'm still here, right? And that's what I was not doing for myself, because I had to replay that accident in my mind. I didn't tell myself, like, I really didn't have that self conversation, like, hey, we're just replaying this for being the witness. This is not actually happening right now. And a lot of people don't believe that, but your body still remembers the trauma. Sometimes when I'm grieving and thinking about my son, my whole body goes back to October the 4th, when I got that phone call that night. Like, literally. And I want to scream again. So sometimes I go outside and I do scream again, right? But I let my body know that we're safe. And the last week, I didn't remind me that I'm safe, that I'm grounded. Like, I literally go outside and sit on the ground. I probably ain't sat on the ground because I ain't want to sit on, and then a daggum snake decide he wants to be sitting somewhere over there where he feels like we can just, be one with the ground and the world. And it's like, no, thank you. So, but I have a couple stools that's out in the yard, and I usually sit and I usually pray. And so, after yesterday, when that painting started talking to me, I realized I had not done that. And I did myself a disservice. And so, I want to remind you, tell yourself that you're safe. Just say, I'm safe. I'm grounded. Say everything is good. Because, everything that's going on in the world today, y'all know I call it, they talking about the climate. Just tell your body, the climate isn't affecting me, right? Do something to begin to nourish your soul, like really make you feel like you're on this earth by yourself, like you're on an island by yourself. I'm gonna let this dry, but this is it. Slapping paint on paper. As I do this talking to you, I'm reminding myself that I'm beautiful. This is beautiful. Be tender with myself. Um, because you know what, guys? I suffered a traumatic loss. I lost another child. So it was real hard to get through that and to really start moving forward. And then it was real hard for me to start grieving, because why? My son was murdered. So I had to keep reenacting it, talking to the district attorneys, talking to the lawyers. You know what I'm saying? So I never got to grieve. He died in 2019. I finally got to grieve last year in 2000, January in 2024. That's a long time for my body to be. So that's why I tell the doctor, y'all gonna give me time to just heal. You're not gonna pump me up full of medicine where my body get used to it. I just didn't want to do that. I still don't want to do that. But, but I am going to take the advice of a doctor who has gone to school and done all the things. I'm not going to just say what I'm not going to do. I'm going to say what I don't want to do. But after this week, and if this blood pressure goes on down, I'm going to call her and let her know, hey, blood pressure been great. I'm not taking these pills. And then she'll probably say, well, okay, but keep checking your blood pressure, because she just wants my body time to give my body time to heal. It's just like, Mr. McCoy had knee replacement surgery. He has a whole piece of newness in his body that he wasn't born with. And so right now his body is adjusting to it, right? And so that's what I need to give my body time to adjust to the trauma that it's been going through back to back to back to back. And I had to give myself time to really understand that, girl, you've been through some things and you really need to give yourself a break. You are not Superwoman. Put the cape down, is what my daughter said today. And I was like, you know what? I didn't think I had a cape. And she's like, yeah, but you do a lot. You really do a lot. And I'm look at it, I'm the mother of 7 kids. What do you mean I do a lot? I've always done a lot. What you mean? It's always been my life. I don't know what sitting down not doing is. I don't know what that is. Like, so, yeah, those are water resistant doing because it's even trying to go over there. You're going to see it's not receiving it. So, but hanging out with you guys really, really, really calms my whole nervous system. And I never worry about what we're going to talk about. I never worry about who's going to show up. I just continue. I just show up and I let God show out. Let's see. That's pretty. Let's put another one right there. How many is one, two, three, four? Yeah, let's put another one right. Those. Let's kind of do it right there. Let's use those as leaves. Let's make this work for us because that's pretty in itself. So the reason that I'm honoring my existence is because I know that if I can make it through, continue to get up every day and make it through my grief journey after losing 2 children, I just really want to be here to encourage someone. That's why I really show up over here on YouTube, is to encourage someone that if I can do it, you can do it, and you're not alone. If you need a support, I'm here. Um, Outside of this YouTube channel, I have a whole business that I do. Image of Success is my whole business where everything falls up under the umbrella, and it's what I do. I help, not so much if you I do help mothers who have lost children to death. However, if you're like, well, I haven't lost a child, then it's not that I don't, but when we're talking about grief in that sense, then I usually more so work with, mothers, because I can relate. When they say I want to get on the floor and kick and scream and cry, I can be like, girl, I know what you mean. I get it. And somebody asks me, it's like, well, you don't work with guys? You don't work with dads? I'm not saying I don't. It's just that I'm a mother. I don't know what it is to be a man. And somebody's like, well, it's the same thing. I beg to differ. I carried that child for 9 months. I just beg to differ. I'm not saying that men don't hurt, because my husband had to remind me that, I miss him. I hurt too. So it's not that. But when I say I know what you mean, I can say that to a mother and really mean it. When I'm saying it to a man, I can say I know what you mean from the sense that we've lost a child. However, I can't really say I know what his, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. So that's all I'm saying. But will I talk with men? Sure, sure, absolutely. But men grieve differently than women. We grieve more openly, more openly. Y'all, let me plug my laptop up. I just realized that it was okay. I'm glad I looked over there. Um, look how, see, this is another thing. This is why I say these things be talking to me. Look how we've taken what we did over here, right? This is grief. You can't make this up. Y'all got to see that in just live in color. This is how grief is. Grief shows up messy. Grief shows up just all over the place. Grief shows up in the most in a just unexpected time. I remember one time I was in the grocery store. This was after my daughter had died. And there was a young lady in there. She had on this turquoise blouse. And the last time I saw my daughter alive, she had on a turquoise blouse. And I was in that store and I couldn't leave that basket fast enough and get the hell out that store because I was about to lose it. And I was just like, y'all will not see me on the news. It was very important when my daughter died for me to not be in public. I didn't talk about it nowhere near like I talk about it now. And it was more so because it was an embarrassing time for me because my daughter committed suicide. I didn't know how to navigate around that. I didn't know nothing of what to do except hide and put on my good Christian girl panties and be like, okay, God, you got this. Okay, you got me. But when I was breaking down in public that day, I realized that I didn't know what to do. I couldn't do this. I tried to go back to work, and it didn't work for me. So I eventually went to, William was in Germany, went to Germany, and Germany saved my life. So that was it in a nutshell. So that's why I say, hey, if you scroll over here and you're on Team Replay and you're like, oh my goodness, I can relate to some of that story, then hit that subscribe button and that bell notification so we can hang. But check it. Turn something that was ugly, turned it into something beautiful. Is grief still around? Yes. Are those marks still on the page? Yes. But what do you focus on more? Do you focus on the beautiful flowers or do you focus on what's under the flowers? I'm still focusing on what's under because, as Dawn said earlier, those are all pastels and it's resistant to the water. You can see it. You can see it. Dawn, you say you're listening while you're making breakfast for dinner. What are you making? Pancakes? Most people that might be good, but I'm gonna put some ribs on the grill. I've been wanting ribs for the ever since last week. I've been trying to wait till Friday, because the place that I want to go get them from, they'll have them. They serve them on Friday, but I got some marinating right now. But some pancakes for breakfast would be good. I mean, pancakes for dinner would be good. Okay, there we go. So now that this over here, it still hasn't dried in the middle. And so what that means is I'm not going to bother it. But these are the deep, deep light watercolors. And they are granulating as well. I did not realize that some of the colors in there are granulating. But you can see that purple that I use. I call it purple. It looks purple, but it's granulating. And the green, this one kind of is. And so they're pretty. They are very, very pretty. I'm going to let these dry. I'm not going to do anything with them because I want to layer them. Here's another tip about grieving and watercolor. If you just sit and let it dry, then you can pile something more, another color on top of it, lighter or whatever. Grief is the same thing. If you just relax and really, 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 really let the grief marinate and just settle, it'll go away. It won't be as painful. So, y'all, I got a lot from this little painting here and all the things about healing and watercolor. It's my jam. It's my lane. It's what I do. So I don't try to, how can I say this? I don't try to walk away from who I am, because to walk away from watercolors and to do it any differently, it wouldn't be who I am, right? Ribs sound so good. I hope they're gonna be good. They've been marinating in that in this marinade in this dry rub kind of, so I hope they are. I'm hopefully it's not so much as are they gonna be good. Are they gonna be what my taste buds are wanting? That's what I want. This right here, I feel like some yellow needs to go over here, but I need that to dry. I'm going to let that dry. We're going to let this dry, let all of this dry, and then we're not going to really stress over it. But I've also learned that just like the undermarks that I put on this page when we started out, it's a part of this page story, right? But I didn't let it be the final chapter. I put flowers on top of it. I made it beautiful. So it gets to what? Still move forward, because when I flip the page and move on to another page, it still gets to be a part of the story, but it wasn't the final chapter. Oh, that was good. I like that. And that's all. That's just it. That's it. Watercolor and healing. Now, let's back it up and pause there. And we're going to talk to the people that says, I don't use watercolor. I don't even do craft. I don't do any of that. I just come on here to watch you. You do it so well and all the things. but I'm grieving. I'm hurting. I've lost this. I've lost a child. I've lost my son. I lost my daughter. I lost my mom. I lost my dad. Whatever your thing is. I lost my job. I lost my livelihood because this climate has laid me off or fired. I got fired or whatever. What I am telling you to do is find the thing, the ritual and the routine that makes you feel better, makes you feel like you're in control instead of being out of control. And remember what I said, rituals can become the root of who you are. There's nothing wrong with losing a job. And I say that not that it's like, oh, well, ain't nothing wrong with losing a job. I've lost a job. I've lost a job. I've quit a job. I've walked the hell off a job and didn't look back. And the reason I walked off of that job was just, it wasn't meant for me to be there anymore. Because why? God was calling me to a greater calling. He was calling me to my purpose. He was calling me to a day like today. So if someone is listening to this live, somebody's listening to the replay, and you're just like, oh my goodness, you're talking to me, then I had to walk off that job for you. Because if I'd have stayed on that job, I was working 50, 60 hours a week. This wouldn't have gotten done. But now, I don't even call it a job because I love doing this. This is what I love to do. Like, people are just like, I can't believe you mowed a yard. What do you mean? I love mowing the yard. But let me see. Let me think. Do I want to be the the contractor? No. Do I want to do, we were passing by, we're getting our roads repaved. Do I want that job? No. So there are some things that I don't want. This is something that I love so much that I would do it for free. And I know that God is going to bless me in the end. It's not about what is going to come from it. It's about who can walk away feeling like they are okay, like they are grounded, that they can live to see another day when their heart is hurting. That's all. That's it. That's it for me. And if I can use my own personal life to show somebody how I slap paint on paper, how I do all of the things and get up every day to do it again. Because today is full of things. Tomorrow is a blank slate. We get to start over. Every day we wake up, it's a blank sheet. It's a blank slate. What are you going to do with it? And if you're still here after losing something or going through something, that means something. This is where it gets tender in life when you're walking forward. And remember, life is beautiful. Grief is beautiful. It just hurts. But this is grief all up under there. But then we put something beautiful on top of it. And we got to say, okay, I showed up. Right? So today I ask you, what's one thing your soul might be curious about? One thing that your soul might be curious about. That's the question. And the other question is, what can you say yes to, not in spite of your grief, but because of it? I chose watercolor because of it. I started with acrylic. I still use acrylic, but I use acrylic more in my mixed media. Let me show you this. I have to turn it to the side. I did a recording of this. I think it's on the shorts. But I think I did this while I was painting. I think, or either I recorded it and it's coming, because I do recordings. I'm going to sit this over here because I still want those to dry. They're not 100% dry. So I want you to ask yourself the question, what's one thing your soul might be curious about? Right? And then the other question is, what could you say yes to in spite of your grief, in spite of what you're going through? What can you say yes to? Write it down, think about it, journal it, whatever it is. Ask yourself, what can you say yes to? Right? Because you know what I've learned? Grief will always be here. Grief is always a part of my life, but it's not the final story, right? I've written 2 books. I wrote one after my daughter and granddaughter died. And then I wrote one like maybe 6 months after my son died. right? So therefore you get to write the final chapter. You do. You get to decide what tomorrow's going to be. Is it going to be beautiful? Is it going to be listen. Oh, listen. Check it out. Oh, I can't use that paper. Yeah, I can, I guess. Cuz this is what we're going to do. And this just dropped in my spirit. Let's not most of it is never planned. Usually I plan out what I'm going to say, kind of, sort of, but check it. We're going to use both hands. We're going to go from left to right. Life. This is life. This is your life. Intertwined. It's all messy and ugly. You get to decide how you show up. We use that one. Well, let's use this one. Because life swings. Sometimes it swings from both ends. It's like you can't even get up off of the ground without getting hit from the left or right. It's just like, dang. The next thing you know, something else comes again. And you're just swinging. And you're ducking. Ain't nothing you can do. But life is causing all kinds of chaos in your life is going on. And it does not care. It is so rude. It is so rude. And you're sitting there and you're just like, oh my God, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Right? Oh, that's going to be. And then this one. Right? This is life. And your blood pressure up. You're mad. You go in the store. Somebody say something crazy to you. You get in traffic. Somebody blocks you or rides up, cuts in front of you. And you're trying to figure out, Lord, if one more person does one more thing, I'm going to lose it. This is life. You get to decide if it stays messy or if you just turn it into something beautiful. You get to decide, right? And slapping paint on paper, I decided that I was going to do something great. I really walked into the whole slapping paint on paper, the whole thing, the saying just came. What are you doing, Karen? Oh, I'm just over here slapping paint on paper. Because why? I walked off that job and I started doing the thing that made me happy. Now, before my son died, I was being a counselor. I was doing counseling, and it was working for me. And then my son died. I didn't want to do it no more. I didn't want to counsel anyway, because it's like, how am I going to counsel somebody to get through something that I haven't gotten through? And I got to have the luxury of not worrying about it. I got to have time to take care of me. Now, this is life. It's all messy. Is it going to stay messy? Or are you going to take, literally, one brush stroke at a time? Are you just really going to just decide what it looks like? Or are you just going to let it stay messy? You get to decide. You get to decide. You get to decide what your grief looks like. You get to decide how it shows up tomorrow. You get to decide. Now this is going to be yummy, 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 yummy when it dries. And I'm going to continue on it so y'all can see when we come back on Monday. I'm going to try to keep going with it and show you how I don't worry about life showing up. Which is why, again, I needed to let myself know that I was okay. You're okay, girl. You're okay. You're okay. Like literally you're talking to, ooh, that's pretty. You're talking to a child. It's just like, you're okay, you're okay, you're okay. Talk to yourself, tell yourself, remind yourself, you're okay. And as the more you say you're okay, the more your nervous system just be like, okay, we ain't got to be in fight or flight mode. We ain't got to just run. We ain't got to run away. We can just stay here. We're okay. That's fun. That's yummy. All that is yummy. So life can be yummy even after the mess. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. We're going to let that dry. Woo. Oh, man, that's good. Ooh, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to do, I already got some stuff. I'm going to get some tissue paper, maybe, and man, just let it seek in. I probably need to do it while it's wet, but I'm over my hour. I try to stay on here hour and not go over, but I totally could stay on here and just really, but I want this to not be. So in my time for us to remember, this is your story. You get to decide what your story looks like. You get to decide what tomorrow looks like. You get to write the final chapter. The final chapter is nowhere near. As long as you wake up every day and you got breath in your body, you get to decide. You do, not someone else. You get to decide. You're in a pissy mood, you get to decide whether you want to stay in a pissy mood. Okay? So I really, y'all know, I thank y'all from the bottom of my heart of always showing up. And hey, if you're on Team Replay and anything that I said resonated with you, I really, 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 really want you to hit that subscribe button and that bell notification so that you can join us in our community here on YouTube, right? And if you're looking for more support, right, let's talk. I have my email that's here. You can reach out to me. It's not just here on YouTube. You can send me an email or you can go to, again, KarenMcCoy.com. I don't know if that's in the description box below, but once this live is done processing, you know how YouTube does its thing, I will make sure that my link, I will make sure that it's there, but I think it's there. And again, if I'm your person, you hear and, you know, are, like I said, you feel like, oh yeah, you're my kind of girl. Cool. Because remember, I'm not for everybody and that's okay. But this here is yum, yum, yummy. Okay. Hey, y'all. Y'all know I have to, you thought I was going to say, I was just going to dip out? No. Oh, and I also want you guys to send a prayer for Bernadette. Bernadette is usually on the live. She's going through some tests and things the next couple days. So I want you guys, as we are over here in our community, to send up a prayer for her, say her name, write her in your journal. And that everything that's going on will be, it'll be great. It'll be okay. There's nothing, the test will come back and everything will be like, you know, we don't see nothing. That's really, really, really what my prayer is. So remember, you're not broken. Life just happened. And you just need to figure out a new way how to navigate around it. Mine just happened to be, I slap paint on paper. I have a studio. I create joy in a different way than some people do. And that's okay. Thank you guys for showing up. Remember, next week, Monday and Wednesday next week, we will be back to 3 o'clock. Every Monday and Wednesday here on the channel, Slap and Paint on Paper, as we heal on our journey. And remember, grief is anything that makes your heart hurt. It is not necessarily that you have to have lost a child or lost someone to death. Grief is anything that makes your heart hurt. And we all have grieved over something. Y'all have a great day. I'll see you later. Bye.